And joining me in studio now is Mr. Himanshu Tucker. He is a business liaison with 365consultant.com. Himanshu, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for calling me.
Now, what is 365consultant.com? It's a very interesting business name.
365 Consultant actually does business between India and US, and we render our services to the US companies to get into India. India is a tough market, and we help them to get into India. And we also do vice versa. Any Indian companies wanting to enter into business ventures with the US companies, we help them to come down here too. So that's what we do. And we also do not only services, we do products and services both together.
Well, that's really fascinating because, I mean, many people, of course, are aware that there's a lot of business being done with U.S. corporations that are outsourcing services and stuff to India. And I wasn't aware that there was a lot of commerce coming from India to the United States, but I guess that I was wrong.
Yes, in fact, you'll be surprised that Indian companies have outsourced their work to the U.S. people. And in fact, the U.S. consulate here in the Bay Area have outsourced to the American companies. So if you want a visa to go down to India, you will have to go through a Travisa, which is an outside source company working for the Indian consulate. Wow. So that's one part of it. And secondly, if you look at it, India has a population of almost 1.2 billion, wow, out of which almost 60% is below the age of 25.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
The buying power is really tremendous, and the GDP is almost about 7% this year.
So with approximately 650 million Indian residents being under the age of 25, I guess it's easy to see now why India is regarded as such a tech-savvy country.
That is correct, and not only tech-savvy, but at the same time, they are bringing businesses here. Tata Consultancy, who actually is known as Tata Infosys, have brought their computer tech into the U.S. They bought the Jaguar also.
Right.
So you'll see a lot of vice versa coming in here now.
Now, I understand that your company is putting on a pretty big conference later on this month in Orange County, California, and I guess it has to do with business in India versus business in the United States, or not versus, but cooperating. Tell us about your conference.
The conference is basically on clean tech, and we have some delegates coming from India to the U.S. attending this conference, and we are very serious in signing some MOUs and giving some POs at this particular event. And if you look at what I have said in the past, that India will surpass the US by 2040, and it will surpass China by 2050.
Really?
And not only that, India has one good thing, that private sectors will finance or will come up with 50% of whatever business has been done in India. So think of it, what the private sectors have right now, what kind of money they have, and what they can do.
That is amazing. Now, you're going to have, I guess, speakers from India at this conference, and you're going to have exhibitors and businesses that are interacting with one another. The whole idea is to help build commerce between the parties?
That is correct. And if you look at the speakers from India as well as from the US, you have really very good speakers coming from UCLA, UCI, USC, and especially a gentleman who is actually called a godfather on methanol cells. He's going to be speaking. He'll be a keynote speaker, Dr. Surya. And we have a few speakers from India who will be also joining and will be a keynote speaker. In fact, the Brookhaven Labs have also decided to come and be our knowledgeable partner, and we have one of the speakers from there too.
Now, on the political landscape between the United States and India, what's our relationship like from India's perspective? I mean, we know how we feel about, different countries. I'm always interested in how the other side feels about the United States.
They're very comfortable with the United States, and their friendship is growing day by day. The bilateral relations are growing every day. So the more the trade we do, the better the bilateral relations are. And not to get too much political, but the neighboring countries do not have good standings as of now. but India is getting better in their bilateral relations with the U.S. government.
Is there an estimate as to how much business currently being done on an annualized basis between India and the United States?
It's very interesting to see that if you look between China and India and U.S., the U.S. does almost about 85% of the business with China. And if you look at what potential India has, it's almost about 1.8% the business between India and U.S. compared to the Chinese. So there's real big opportunity in India. This is the right conference to get into. And if you noticed that Indian companies do not go and wear one hat. If they are into computers, they do not only have computer business, they are diversified into different businesses. And that makes it even better, because if I have 5 companies coming in, it doesn't necessarily mean these 5 companies are only meant for this business. They are into different industries. So that 5 can be multiplied into 5, so you have got 25 industries right now. So that's the great thing about the Indians wearing different hats. And even if you have small group of people coming in, you will have better bandwidth with them. And I'm trying to see and do a face-to-face matchmaking session during this conference.
What I found, something you mentioned a few moments ago that I found really fascinating. I mean, there has been estimates that the Chinese economy is going to surpass that of the United States like 2016, about 5 years from now. You're saying that the Indian economy is going to surpass that of the United States by 2040 and China by 2050.
Correct.
That is meteoric, phenomenal growth. I mean, that must be very exciting for people who are involved in commerce with the country of India.
Yes, and that's the everyone out of the U.S. Commerce or the Indian Chamber of Commerce, everyone is excited and they see an opportunity in the U.S. And especially, I'm not too sure if people are aware, when you say U.S., maybe anything in product goes abroad has a better value. You may get 2 cents, 5 cents more for your product compared to any other product. So, and U.S. has always been a fascinating place for the Indians, and therefore I see more opportunities in U.S. with India a lot.
Company's 365consultant.com. Check out their website. Himanshu, fascinating discussion about the commerce between the United States and India. Good luck on your conference here at the end of the month. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.